Hi there. This is Debbie, the Dementia Caregiver, and I've had quite an interesting past couple of days. I thought I would share this with you because I've learned a lot, and if you're a caregiver for somebody who has dementia, maybe you'll find this information valuable to you that you may need someday. Hopefully not, but it's possible. So two afternoons ago, around 4 o'clock, my husband came in, who is the one who's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's actually a couple of years ago, although we knew it much longer than that. He came in and informed me that it's time for dinner. Where's dinner? And I said, Jim, we don't eat till 5. We always eat at 5. And he became irate and angry and called me names and told me that it's time to eat. So I fixed him something to eat. And I went back I was working on the computer here, where I am right now, and I came back and worked on it some more, and it was around 8 o'clock. So he comes in through the door here and comes up right behind me where I'm kind of, there isn't any room to get out of here without going by him. And he is furious because I hadn't fed him all day. And he started punching me in the arm, which is still very sore. Right here, punch. And I said, Jim, stop it. And I said, I'm going to call 911. So I did. I called 911 and he threatened me, you do that. So I hung up and I called his daughter, who lives not too far away, and I can always count on her. So I called her and she was talking. I put it on speakerphone. So she's telling him, Dad, lay off, get off of her, leave her alone. And so finally, after a tirade, he let me through. I told him I was going to call 911, and in the meantime, when they called back, I told them what was going on, and I knew that they were going to come, at least send out a couple of officers. And in the meantime, I get a phone call from my granddaughter saying, Mom and Dad are on their way. Just want to let you know that, and gave me some advice about what she thought to do. And it wasn't too long before our daughter and son-in-law pull in, and I let him in the house. And by then he had already gone into the bedroom after stopping and just cussing me out, about what a horrible wife I was and calling me names and all this good stuff. And I kept reminding him, you ate, I fixed your dinner. I forgot about the 4 o'clock. My mind just went blank. I wasn't expecting that. It just blew me away. And so anyway, the kids showed up and they came in, and she went in to the bedroom to talk to him. And then there was a knock at the door, and it was the 2 police officers, a female and a male. And they were asking a bunch of questions, and the male went in and talked to my husband, and I stayed in the living room, and the female was talking to me. And together they all decided that it would be unsafe for me to stay in the house that night. And so I went with my daughter and son-in-law to their house and spent the night with them. And then the next morning, she and I got up and we started making phone calls. I had already made several phone calls. One was to the Area Agency of Aging, and the other was to Alzheimer's Agency, and that one was extremely helpful. Right now, we're in COVID, so people aren't answering the phones like they do. They should, I suppose, and you call and leave a message, and you're lucky if you get an answer back. But these people were very responsive. I had called a week earlier because we went to a doctor's office appointment, and I asked him, did he want his cane or his walker to get into the building? He told me he wanted his cane. So we were walking. He was walking on the left of me, behind me, and apparently had stepped off the sidewalk into the snowbank. And he just kind of slow motioned fell to his left-hand side into the snowbank, but he wasn't hurt. But I needed help getting him up because I already know that I can't get him up by myself. So we had 3 strong young men came to our rescue and helped get him up. And he told everybody when we went inside, they put him in a wheelchair and they took him in and they were very nice to him. And he told everybody that he had walked off the sidewalk and that it was his fault. It wasn't their fault. But the next day, he tells me that he knew that I pushed him, which I wasn't even near him. So I don't understand what goes on in the demented brain. All I can do is tell you from the caregiver's experience. And if you're a caregiver, maybe these things will help you. But anyway, yesterday morning, I talked to this woman from Alzheimer's Agency, and they're extremely helpful. I highly recommend that you contact them if you have any questions. And she suggested that the next time that if there isn't, well, there probably will be a next time, that I definitely call 911 immediately, and that I ask for patient transport and that he be taken. And they told me exactly which hospital to have him go to the emergency room so they can evaluate him there, and they can also keep him in a psychiatric ward if need be. Now, my dad had Alzheimer's. My dad went after my mother. I mean, they've been married for, I don't know, almost 50 years. Very loving relationship. My dad went after my mother with a hammer because he thought she was messing around with a gypsy. And he would see this gypsy sneak in and out of windows. So after that happened, he ended up he went to a psych unit in a hospital for a while, and then they transferred him to assisted living. And we stayed there for a year before he passed away. But one of the things that they suggested too is that when he starts getting very agitated, to just agree with everything he says. Don't cause waves. Don't argue with him. There's no way that you can win an argument with a demented person when they're angry. And I have a tendency, trying to convince him that no, that didn't happen, or you're remembering it wrong or whatever. You don't do that. You just, yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. And for me, I have a real problem with authority, and to apologize for something that I haven't done is not easy. And I suspect that's probably true for you too. And I'm sorry, but you know what? We have to deal with the hand that we're dealt right now. And that is working with a demented person and trying to keep things calm without escalating them and causing violence. That's where I am right now. And so I'm going to have to do what I have to do, and that is to agree with him and tell him he's absolutely right, and I was wrong, and I apologize, and I guess leave it at that. So I just wanted to hop on, share my experience with you. Yesterday we went to 2 different doctors. We went to his primary doctor and told him what was going on right in front of Jim. And so he's going to have a caseworker call me. And he's also setting up an appointment with the neurologist to see if the medication is off or whatever. So that's where we are right now. And it's scary. And I've been on the internet. I've looked around to see what information I could find out. And I haven't found anything like this. I haven't found a video that explains this. I don't have all the answers, that's for doggone sure, but as I do learn this information, I'm going to be happy to share it with you because, we have to stick up for each other. We have to share the knowledge that we have. This is not an easy task. I know it, you know it, and so hopefully this will give you some thoughts about how to handle your own situation if you ever get placed in that situation, or even how to better get along with your loved one who is demented. And I hope this helps. So thank you very much.